Hi, I'm Matt McFarlin.
Hi, I'm Sarai. We are your hosts. Welcome to the Eastern Echo podcast. Look out for us on campus and on social media at Eastern Echo _podcast at Instagram and at Eastern Echo Podcast on Twitter. Here's Matt with the news.
In news this week, Eastern Michigan University hosts its 12th annual digital marketing workshop with theme Hybrid Marketing. Latinx Student Association at EMU showcases culture through music and food. Materials Unlimited in Ypsilanti closes after 50 years. On November 18th, EMU is hosting its 12th annual digital marketing workshop from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Student Center. This event is open to the community and any EMU student. The workshop will include breakfast, lunch, 2 panels of experienced marketing professionals, and a chance to network with other people. Anyone interested can register on Eventbrite for a special student rate of $7.50. Next up in our series on cultural organizations on campus is Latinx Student Association, or LSA, at EMU. EMU's LSA showcases culture through music and food. LSA's members want EMU students to know that the organization is not just for Latino and Hispanic students, but is open for any students who are interested in learning more about different culture. On October 27, LSA is hosting a Dia Los Muertos event in Big Bob's Lake House from 7 to 9 p.m., in collaboration with Campus Life and the Multicultural Greek Council. Dia de los Muertos is a celebration of life and death, which LSA will be celebrating with other students by learning the history of the holiday through games, music, food, activities, and more. In other news, Ypsilanti staple Materials Unlimited is closing after 50 years. The store, which originated on Main Street in Ann Arbor, is having a closing sale for 25% off of everything. Materials Unlimited sells antiques of all kinds, including lamps, furniture, doors, craft supplies, and more. After a lifetime of loving and selling antiques, owner Reynold Lowe is now planning to retire and continue his passion for making art. This segment was reported by Anyare Zapata, Layla McMurtry, and Krista Kangas, scripted by Mariah Taylor and produced by Jordan Boyd. To read the full-length news articles this week, visit www.easternecho.com or pick up a copy of our print newspaper on campus.
Are you an EMU student looking for events to attend? Tune in each week to hear about the best events going on and off campus. Are you an EMU student looking for events to attend? Tune in each week to hear about the best events going on and off campus in the coming week. In events this week, on October 20, EMU's AMP is hosting Java Jam from 4 to 6 p.m. outside of the Starbucks in the Student Center. From spoken word poetry to singing, the live performance events give artists a chance to showcase their voice. On October 22nd, La Day and PBS is holding the 4th annual Bra-a-thon at 6:30 p.m. in Student Center Room 300. Also, EMU Theater presents The Crucible on October 21st and 22nd at 7 p.m. at Legacy Theater. There will also be a sensory-friendly performance on October 23rd at 2 p.m. Next up, here are hosts Destiny Jenkins-Jones and Jay Manea speaking with EMU student Alex Ware about his Autism Acceptance Program.
Hello guys, it's Destiny Jenkins-Jones here.
It's Jay Manea here.
This is Alex from Alex's Autism Acceptance channel.
Hello, we're here to talk about Alex's Autism Acceptance Program today. Okay, so let's go back a second. So you're not running this program by yourself?
No, it was established about 25 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Basically by like a parent who had an autistic child, and she was like, yeah, we have no resources, we have nothing. So she was just like, you know what, I'm gonna create my own resources. And that's what happened. It started off very small naturally, but it's turned into a pretty big community. When I graduated high school, there were about 30 or 40 of my colleagues just in that group, so yeah.
Okay, and how are you looking to expand this program on EMU's campus? Like, what are you doing to get the Autism Acceptance Program out there on campus?
So I'm not really... So I think we're talking about two different things. My program, it's like just like what I do on my own. Like I don't have any like funding behind it. It's just like me talking with just talking to the camera basically. I've inspired a lot of people from it according to the comments. But if you wanted to talk about the community in Northville, then yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay.
Because that's the one that has like funding and all that.
Okay, well, let's talk about the community at Northville.
Sure.
What kind of information could you tell us about that community?
So it's basically like a small house, basically in the middle of town, and it basically takes in a lot of people on the spectrum, like pretty much everyone, like low functioning, high functioning, in between. Like if they need resources, if they need advice, like the study hour and all that. So like it goes a long way, definitely. They have writing coaches to help me with like what I want to say, because obviously I have a lot to say, but I'm not too good at actually saying it.
Well, you're very well spoken. So I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like you definitely are very. You're not giving yourself enough credit, because I feel like you're definitely a great talker. So far.
You're doing good.
So
but not
it's
predictive.
my problem is actually like with writing, not exactly talking. So they have like an entire coach to help me with the writing process. And then what else do they have? They have a lot of social gatherings, which I think is one of the most important parts of what they do, because it helps you participate in society more naturally. Like for a lot of autistics, we're very introverted, and so our parents try to make us go out a lot. And that's uncomfortable because we don't really do it by choice. But with the great community that is the house in Northville, a lot of us are more willing to do that voluntarily, so to speak.
So you would say that house has definitely impacted your personality overall?
Definitely, yeah. It's made me more confident. It's made me more social, and it's made me more caring. Definitely, because everyone in there, like they have to go through some hurdles in life. I mean, autism isn't easy to live with. It's really not. So just understanding that, it's definitely made me open my eyes to people who may be struggling beneath the surface, who may be totally fine with what other people see, but on the inside they're really just having to fight daily battles.
What kind of battles have you fought?
Definitely social anxiety for one. That's one that took me a long time to get over. And also sensory overload. Sensory overload is a really... so, what's the best way to put it? It's like lights are brighter, sounds are louder, smells and tastes are stronger. We're more sensitive to touch. So, I can, so I don't wear shirts with tags on them, or I try not to, because they basically feel like a cactus on the back of my neck. It's that bad.
Yeah.
And that applies to everything. So like lights can, they feel like the sun, like really close up. Sounds, they sound like explosions a lot of the time. I mean, you got to accommodate yourself with less. Like you sort of got to tone down sensory situations whenever you can. And I've been working to overcome that, and unfortunately, really the only way to overcome that is to be exposed to that. So it's taken some work.
So you have to go through like exposure therapy and stuff?
Pretty much, yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Accountant.
I've seen parts of it on TV.
Okay, so one of the things the guy does, and it's actually very accurate, that helps him overcome the sensory overload, is he blasts music and he puts strobe lights on. And at first that's terrifying, but after a while you're able to get used to it and cope with it. And unfortunately, that's sort of one of the only ways that we're able to adapt to the real world. Without society, like, if society didn't adapt at all to us, which of course they are, and it's good that they're doing that. But in the case where like there's no accommodation, it's sort of up to us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how does someone change their small habits, like, to help those with autism?
Do you mean like coaches who coach autistic kids, or?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're saying like what do coaches do to help improve certain habits? Is that right?
Well, yeah, that too. And like in interacting with those who have autism, I think it can be a little hard because you know how you said that you're sensitive to touch.
Yes.
So if I were to hug you, what does that mean to you?
Well, when it comes to that, like it's like it comes to like familiarity. In that case, so it's like I get a little weird with hugs, like if I don't know someone, but like if I have girlfriend, like if I have a girlfriend or like a really close friend, or my parents or my aunts and uncles or my siblings, I have no problem with hugs. So I think part of that comes with routine, I saw my siblings and my parents every single day, so like I'm fully used to that. So if like I don't like change, that's one of the things. So if there's something that's regularly in my life, then I'm comfortable with that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So how can like I don't know if you've ever been in this predicament, but how can like a cop, a police officer,
yes.
how can they interact with those who have special needs? And look, I'm gonna go back, right? I don't know if you've seen the story about I can't think of it off the top of my head. It was in Detroit. He had a guy had mental health problems, and I don't know the specifics, but he had mental health problems, and he had previous encounters with police officers, and he had a knife, and they shot him, I think about 30-something times. And it kind of blew me, It's definitely overkill for one. And I was thinking, like, what goes through your head, like,
Right. This one hits me deep, I'm gonna be a teacher, and I see these autistic kids getting arrested or getting expelled just for being themselves, and I can't really describe those emotions because they're so strong. But I experience incredibly negative, like extreme anger, extreme sadness. I mean, to tell you the truth, I was visiting a school one time for one of my hours, and I saw a kid firsthand being mistreated that was clearly on the spectrum, clearly was not fully aware of what was going on, did not know what he was doing was socially inappropriate, and he was horribly mistreated for that, and that I was very shaken for that for about a week or so. And we just really need to, cops and teachers really need to take more courses on compassion, I think.
Yeah.
Just like understanding, more courses on neurodiversity in general, I think, because the reaction is very abnormal than that of general society. And I think cops really need to take a step back and use some common sense. It's like, this person is acting very abnormally. There is something abnormal about his brain activity, naturally, right?
Right.
And they need to go through mental health training. Like, what are the signs of mental illness? What are the signs of autism? Because heck, the reason many autistic stereotypes exist is because it's true for a lot of people. So what are the aspects of that, and what do you have to keep in mind? And just the main thing to keep in mind is sensitivity to touch. So like, I'm not trying to tell them how to do their jobs or anything, but don't arrest them,
I agree.
Avoid touching. Like, literally don't avoid touching as much as possible. Avoid touching at all. That's the reality of it. They also don't like aggressiveness. I don't think a lot of people do. But it's like you just have to approach that with a calm voice and a calm tone. And those who are properly trained at de-escalation, that shouldn't be an issue for them. But yeah, just the basics that you have to treat every human being basically. Any good cop who treats a human being with respect, they need to do that with autism. But it sort of has to be a little more extreme with the gentleness, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, and then I want to backtrack one more time. So I said special needs, and I don't want to offend you or disrespect you or anything. So can you tell me like a proper term or word I could refer to someone on the spectrum?
Neurodiverse is the best one.
Neurodiverse.
Yeah.
Jay, say it with me. Neurodiverse.
Neurodiverse, yeah. So neurodiverse is basically a different type of brain activity than the normal population. And I really don't think it gets enough credit in society because different brain chemistry means a different perspective. And a different perspective is more to offer, no matter what it is, in your relationships, in your jobs, in society. If you have a different mindset, that's rational. I think society would be more than happy to listen to it. So yeah, neurodiverse. I sort of go back and forth on the term disability.
Yeah.
Because it is a social disability, but at the same time, like, what I see disability as having more struggles than having more strengths.
Okay.
And for high-functioning autism, what I have, it's sort of equal, if not more strengths than struggles. So I'm a bit torn with that, but yeah, neurodiverse I 100% support.
What kind of strengths would you be referring to?
I'm a math whiz, for one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like,
one of my weaknesses.
Wow.
For sure, yeah. I could, I have this really freaky skill where I can take two double-digit numbers, multiply them, and solve it in my head within 15 seconds.
Oh my God,
Two
Jay.
double-digit numbers.
Jay, give him a
we
math
can do
problem.
a bit of practicing, yeah.
Jay, give him a math problem.
We're having someone work on it right now, so we'll get it to you soon. But that's pretty cool. So you would say you're pretty educated in math. And you say you want to be a teacher, so do you want to be a math teacher? Or?
So I want to be an elementary school teacher, so like all subjects.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, the kids in middle school and high school, what I've realized, they're very nitpicky when it comes to social behaviors. And if you've noticed, I'm pretty quirky. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. And the students pick up on that. I've done a couple shadowing in I've done a couple shadowings in high school and middle school regarding mathematics, and kids have straight up said to me, "Mr. Ware, you're pretty weird."
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they pick up on that, and I feel like elementary school kids are a bit more accepting, so to speak.
Okay.
Because really the bullying started for me in like 4th grade.
Really?
Yeah, and continued on throughout high school. So I'm looking to teach like middle elementary, like 2nd or 3rd grade, just because like that doesn't really start at that time.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm worried that like if I notice a kid bullying another kid, I won't take action because I'll end up getting a flashback. And that ended up happening in middle school. Like I saw bullying going on with someone who didn't really have the social skills, and I got super upset by that, and I couldn't finish up the day. Like I had to leave for the day, just because it reminded me of that. So I hope to avoid that by teaching the moderate to younger grades, where they haven't learned that yet, basically.
All right. So our mathematician just got back.
Let's hear it.
What is 2 times 43?
No.
86.
Wow.
No, God, double digits.
But he solved it,
Two
though.
double-digit
But he
numbers.
solved it.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 double-digit numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's 20 times 43?
860.
There we go.
Oh my God.
And I could go on and on. And I mean, the weird thing about that is I don't even have to practice. Like, I could not do that for 6 months.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I know. It would take me like at least a couple seconds.
I
Okay.
probably have to write it down.
Give me one without like a 0, a 2, or a 5, because
All right.
those ones are easy.
23 times 47.
23 times 47. That is 1,081.
1,081.
We have to put this in our calculator.
No, yeah, I got a calculator.
He's
I
got the
got that
calculator.
out, yeah.
He's gonna prove it to us.
47 times 23 is.
1,081.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
are you
absolutely.
seeing the numbers?
It's hard to explain, but something's going on that it just makes me rapid fire. I know
that's
what it
impressive.
is, but I can't explain it. I've never been able to.
Yeah, that is impressive for sure.
One thing that helps me though, and this is very common with people with autism, I see numbers and letters have colors.
Okay.
That's incredibly common for this condition because there's some wires that cross, and that's usually one of them. It's the sight. Along with the education, so I'm not fully sure with the terms and all that, but there's something happens like that. So like 3s for me are red and like 2s are blue.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I see 23, I see a blue and a red, and I do think that helps a lot.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wow, I've never even thought about it like that. So. I guess it is a thing.
It's really strange. Like scientists still haven't figured out why that happens. So that's how complicated it is. Because there's been reports of that happening since the 1800s, with like people seeing like colors and letters. So yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that. Wow. Okay, that's cool.
Okay. Remind me of your major and what year you are.
Elementary education, 5th year senior.
5th year senior. Okay.
Yeah.
So after this, you're done. You're done with school completely.
No. So I'm done with classes. Come mid-December, but I do have 15 weeks of student teaching starting in January. So
impressive.
I mean I have the normal 2-week break and then I'm right back at it. But I'm gonna really enjoy student teaching because we have to do this thing called practicum, which is basically student teaching for 3 hours a day, once a week. 1 day per week. And like when I'm in charge of the classroom, it comes very naturally. I really struggle when I'm in front of, like when I'm not the teacher, like when I'm listening to a lecture. Yeah, I really struggle with that. But when I'm in front of the classroom, I have no problem at all. So I'm excited for that. And this is also the first semester where Whitmer is allowing us to get paid. We're getting paid about $9,000, and I think we should because, I mean, it's a full-time job. Like, we work for 5 hours a day. We go home and we do our lesson plans, and we got to wake up and do it again Monday through Friday, 15 weeks. So we're definitely dedicated to the field. So, I do like that we're getting paid for that.
So why kids?
Yeah.
Mainly it's to reverse my own trauma. I mean, growing up, like, I never had a good experience with my peers. And when you're in those stages of growth, like from birth to grade 1 or grade 2, that's when the most growth happens. So you really need to be on top of all aspects. And I was on top of all aspects except for social. Naturally, right? And so, I'm very behind on that to this day. So I really hope just to, I mean that's why I was really nervous coming in because I wasn't quite sure how you guys were going to react because of bad experiences in the past. So I really hope to just set up a classroom environment where that never happens, and I want to make sure like all kids, especially high-functioning kids, because no doubt those are going to be in my classroom, high-functioning autism, So I really have to ask myself, how do I respond to that? How do I accommodate for those kids who aren't having the best time with their classmates? And by God's grace, I have a lot of solutions to make sure that doesn't happen. To make sure they didn't experience what I experienced.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on other programs like yours? You know.
You mean Northville's program?
Yeah, like the other programs, like U.S. programs, like.
Oh. You mean government sponsored?
Well, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I don't really like the government overall. They're not really good at doing things.
I
Are you an
agree.
anarchist?
No comment. No, I'm kidding. I plead the fifth now.
Jeez Louise.
But, you know, I really think, because, like, you can have all the resources in the world, right? But if you don't have heart, your mission for helping neurodiverse kids isn't going to be a success. Like, you have to be in it for the right reasons. And I've seen this in public schools. Like, why do public schools have so many resources for students, but they also have the highest mental health problems? It's because a lot of those counselors aren't really in it. So that's the main thing. It's like you could have one of the highest GDP, like you could have the highest funded counseling system, but if the people in charge don't care, you're not going to get anywhere.
Okay, Alex. Now remind me of the name of your YouTube channel.
Alex's Autism Acceptance channel.
Okay, so I remember you saying that you don't have funding, right?
No, I'm sort of like an independent journalist, so to speak. That's what I consider myself.
So you don't need funding?
No.
Okay.
It's a personal project of mine. Like, basically all I'm trying to do is, like I said, just really give advice to people in need. So I don't necessarily provide resources, but I do provide things that I help people emotionally and spiritually, I'd say. Definitely. That's what I'd say. Just sort of a pep talker, and I mean, pep talks have gotten me out of the lowest point in my life, so I really hope to do the same with other people.
Okay. And to go back to the social thing that you were talking about, so are there different types of, like, autism? Because I have a cousin who has autism,
Right.
and he takes medicine when he goes out in public, and he's super social. Like, he can talk to anyone in a restaurant, and it's his, like, favorite thing to do, you know, making friends, like. But he was also, like, you know, bullied in high school and such, but he's super social. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, what are the different types of autism?
So I'm not exactly sure of the exact names, but I do know it's very wide.
Okay.
So for autism, there's 13 criteria, and 4 of them need to be met for a diagnosis.
Okay.
And it could be any combination of 4. So obviously, like, it could be any combination of 4, any combination of 5, any combination of 6. It could be all 13. So the possibilities of what autism means is pretty much endless, and it's getting wider and wider each year. Like, when I was diagnosed, there was, like, it was higher than 4. Like, it had to be more than 4. But basically, like, with all the people just, like, saying, like, yeah, I can tell I'm autistic. Like, I don't meet as many criteria now, but there's got to be something going on that caused scientists to think about it. And I'd say the standard has, no, I mean, not the standard, but, like, the qualification has gotten much lower. Honestly, from the time I was diagnosed in 2002 to now, 20 years later, the autism rate has about tripled. So it's gone from 1 in 150 to 1 in 50 in the entire United States. And that's massive. Like, when it comes to researching conditions, like, the diagnosis rate, that barely ever happens where it's that rapid. So the time has come for society to really talk about this, because, something is happening, and we need to figure out why, and we need to figure out how to be as accommodating as possible.
Okay. And for the Northville, what is it? Shoot. Northville community. I'm so sorry. We've been talking about it the whole time. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
For the Northville community, how does funding work for them? Like, where is the funding coming from?
So that comes from donations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
strictly
donations.
donations.
And the more prevalent autism becomes, the more people recognize that and are very supportive of that. So the funding has gotten better and better over the years, and so have the resources because of that.
But it was so nice talking to you, Alex.
Absolutely.
You're such an amazing person.
Thank you.
And I love learning because you just taught me a lot within, I don't know how long this has been, but you've taught me a lot.
It's been less than 30 minutes.
Well,
That's
yeah.
Crazy, yeah.
You taught me a lot, and I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for having me.
You're a hero, Alex.
What's that?
I said you're a hero.
Thank you.
And one last time, what's the YouTube channel?
Alex's Autism Acceptance channel. I have 542 subscribers.
Wow.
But I do hope to get more from that, so people are able to discover my content. I don't promote growth just for the numbers.
Right.
I promote growth in order to help people, because this channel is literally for everyone. It's for autistics. It's for neurodiverse but not autistic. It's for not neurodiverse. That qualifies everyone. So everyone has something to gain from this. Alex's Autism Acceptance channel, road to 1K.
Well, I'll be subscribing. I'll be watching.
Thank you.
Road to 5K.
5K. Road to 100 million. Let's just
That's
go
what I'm
with
talking
that.
about.
Let's go big. Go big or go home.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
The winner of last week's trivia is Cromwell Boss, and the correct answer was 13. This week's Eastern Echo podcast trivia question is, how many resident halls have there been in EMU's history? DM us on our Instagram at EasternEcho_podcast for a chance to win a prize.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sarai. We are your hosts, and this was the Eastern Echo Podcast.